Developments in Banco de Portugal's balance sheet in 2019 basically reflect the increase in value of the gold reserve and the effects of monetary policy decisions. The bank's balance sheet has increased significantly in volume over the last decade, following the financial crisis that began in 2008 to address the needs that emerged from it. This has only slowed down over the last 2 years. From the end of 2018 to the end of 2019, the Banco de Portugal's balance sheet increased by about 2 billion euros to 160 billion euros in total. This rise in the balance sheet was largely driven by the 20.8% increase in the price of gold in euros. The quantity of gold held by the Banco de Portugal has remained unchanged at 382.5 tons of gold, valued at 16.7 billion euros at the end of 2019, 2.9 billion euros more than in 2018. Net foreign reserves and euro assets decreased by 0.8 million euros, mainly as a result of the reduction in the held-to-maturity securities portfolio amid currently unattractive interest rates. The portfolio of securities held for monetary policy purposes grew in 2019, mostly due to the 4.1 billion euro increase in the portfolio of Portuguese government debt purchased by the Banco de Portugal under the Eurosystem's public sector purchase programme. This increase was partly offset by maturing securities in the Securities Markets programme, amounting to 600 million euros, and supranational securities in the PSPP to the sum of 700 million euros. The Banco de Portugal also started the implementation of the new series of targeted longer-term refinancing operations in September 2019, which had reached 2.5 billion euros by the end of the year. However, this increase was more than offset by the maturity of operations in the second series, amounting to 5.1 billion euros. Lastly, banknotes in circulation recorded under the Banco de Portugal's liabilities decreased by 0.1 billion euros to 28 billion euros, while banknotes in circulation in the Eurosystem grew by 5%. This reflects a reduction of the Banco de Portugal's share in the capital of the European Central Bank as a result of the 5-yearly adjustment of the ECB's capital key. In terms of earnings, the Banco de Portugal's main sources of income essentially result from monetary policy operations and from the management of the bank's own asset portfolio. In the costs component, the bank has kept operating costs stable, despite the increase in functions and responsibilities and all the organizational and technological transformation the bank has undergone over the last decade. In 2019, income before provisions and taxes stood at a similar level to 2018 and totaled 1.1 billion euros. This result was driven by the 67 million euro decrease in net interest income, interest margin, in an environment of low interest rates from both asset management and monetary policy, an effect that was partly offset by the increase in volume of monetary policy operations. It should be noted that the interest margin in 2018 was positively influenced by an interest adjustment of the TLTRO2, not repeated in 2019, which accounts for much of the difference observed. This decrease was partly offset by the 46 million euro increase in the net result of pooling of monetary income in the Eurosystem, as in 2018, this item was also influenced by adjustments to update the TLTRO2 rates, in this case negatively. Non-recurring factors also contributed positively to the bank's earnings, particularly the return of past contributions made by the Banco de Portugal to the Mutual Agricultural Credit Guarantee Fund, amounting to 81 million euros. Total administrative costs also contributed to income before provisions and taxes, with a decline of around 1 million euros. Staff costs posted a slight growth of 0.2%, largely due to the increase in staff assigned to supervisory areas. Supplies and services from third parties decreased by 8%, mostly reflecting lower advisory expenses related to the resolution and sale of Novo Banco, and software development and technology expenses with Eurosystem projects. The bank's net profit is distributed according to its statute. That is 20% to reserves and the remainder to the state, as dividends, or to other reserves proposed by the Board of Directors and approved by the Minister of Finance. After income tax to the sum of €349 million, the Banco de Portugal's net profit amounted to €759 million. This meant a distribution of €607 million in dividends to the state. Between dividends and current tax for 2019, the Banco de Portugal paid the Portuguese state a total of €956 million.